Hey, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is your host,
Nico.
And Irvin, and this is Shining Spotlight, the stream where we highlight creatives in the industry in order to inspire you guys. Today is a very special day. Today, we are closing out this year with a bang, and it's Christmas Day for those who celebrate it. Today, we have an amazing manga creator talking with us all the way in Japan. Her work has been published in magazines such as Weekly Shonen Sunday and Monthly Shonen Sunday. Most notably, her works are Tutti and Chuganji Clan's Secret. She has also published her book through Manga University called How to Draw Manga and the Manga Cookbook through Crunchyroll. Today, we welcome the great Ryo Katagiri. Thank you so much for coming on today. Really appreciate your time.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so, just for, those who are watching, this may be a little bit different. We're actually going to have a little bit of translation going on in this interview for the, finale. Again, we appreciate Ryo coming on today. Things are a little bit different than we typically do things. But let's start with our first question that we have on the list. So, can you tell the audience a bit of information about your manga story works?
Okay, now I will introduce myself first. Hello, my name is Ryo Katagiri. I'm a Japanese manga artist and illustrator. And I live in Japan. I had a series on Weekly Shonen Sunday magazine and Monthly Shonen Sunday magazine. So Shonen Sunday magazine is very popular manga magazine in Japan. It's the same magazine as a Detective Conan and Inuyasha, Komis and communicated the same magazine. I had a series. And I'm one of the author of the How to Draw Manga book. And also cookbook published by Manga University. And yeah, that's all. Thank you. I collaborate with Crunchyroll. I draw Hime and Yuzu character on the cookbook 3. So I also draw comic essay. Comic essay means in Japanese non-fiction comedy story. Non-fiction comic book. So my works are currently published in a total 14 books now. 14 maybe.
Wow.
Yeah, that's all.
And you all know I'm a huge fan of Detective Conan and Inuyasha, so goes back to
oh my goodness,
nostalgia there.
I love it.
So, I mean, I'm just showing a few of the works that you can see of, that's in Ryo's library, obviously, of her work. You can see here on the screen, Tutti. And then, of course, as we showed just a moment ago on the screen, you can see the How to Draw Manga book, both versions, and the manga cookbook. So, my next question on the list in regards to that would be, when working on Tutti and Chuganguji's Secret Clan and Weekly Shonen Sunday, what was your process like?
Okay. The first my manga, The Secret of Chuganji Clan, was actually the story is a ninja comedy, like an action battle comedy like that. So actually, the editor suggested that I draw ninja. Okay, you draw ninja next. So I was not interested in ninja at all at the time. So I looked them up in the book, and I researched on internet, book from books. So I draw one-shot manga about a ninja comedy, and which is the main character is a boy, is protected by a cute ninja girl. The editor seems to know that I had a talent for drawing comedies. Then it became a serialized story for monthly magazine. Yeah.
Okay.
Then second one, the Tutti, it's called Tutti. It's about brass music high school brass band club. It's about the music manga.
Music.
The same editor suggested, okay, you go next weekly magazine. Let's do weekly magazine next. So, so the idea came out was very considerably very. It was very hard, but I decided to draw my experience, my school brass band club. So this manga is about slice of life manga. Yeah.
Okay. You know, I definitely, you know, it's always interesting for us to hear like a bit about like you know, the process as it relates to, you know, kind of how things work with the magazines. Like I like what you just said about like, you know, doing the weekly magazine versus the monthly magazine. So I guess what my next question to you would be actually is who are your art influences and your writing influences? Like I know you mentioned Inuyasha, you know, and a couple other things out there, you know, like, you know, as it relates to that. But like if you had to pick like a manga creator, you know, or mangaka.
Maybe I'm influenced by a lot of mangaka. For example, Nanae Kurono sensei she's from Shinsengumin Imon Peacemaker, and Atsushi Okubo sensei is from Soul Eater. Hiromu Arakawa sensei from Fullmetal Alchemist. And I'm very, very much influenced by Osamu Tezuka for writing. Yeah, and more, many more.
So, what would you say? What inspired you to really create How to Draw Manga Basics and Beyond?
Maybe my brothers, because my brothers, when I was little, when I was 4 years old, 5 years old, I had two brothers, older brothers. They bought a lot of manga, like a Dragon Ball, One Piece, Naruto, Bleach, Hokuto no Ken, we had a lot of manga when I was little, so I read them every day. Then my father worked at paper company. We had a lot of paper at home, so I draw doodles every day. I read manga every day, so maybe I become a manga artist. I'm really interested in drawing manga, the reading manga. Yeah.
Okay, and kind of going back to Tootie, what made you come up with the title for that one? That's an interesting one.
Tootie?
Yes.
Tootie is about the music. Music word. It means Italian, maybe Italian. Means let's play together. Everybody play together. It means Tutti.
Wow, actually.
Yeah, it's maybe Italian.
It's pretty cool.
Have you ever doing music instrument?
Yes.
Oh, really? Maybe you can find Tutti some on your word. Tutti, yeah.
Okay. That's actually really cool. Well, so like going back to kind of like your profession in general, I mean, are there anyone you would like to collaborate with on your projects? Is there someone you would like to collaborate with on a project? Like
collaborate.
Yeah, team up with.
Yeah, I would like to collaborate with Mr. Takahashi Hiroki. He's a Japanese story writer and he's a manga artist. And we actually made one-shot manga in this year already. Then it was published in Young Gangan magazine in May. Yeah, in this year. So I would like to collaborate with him again. Yeah, he's very good at thinking, battle. Shonen manga battle とか like he is very good at gambling. Well, so.
Okay. Fair,
I'm
fair
not
deal.
so
Fair
good
deal.
at. I'm not so good at thinking about battle action, kind of like that.
Gambling, we could say it's one of my side fortes. I don't really I don't explore it often. I don't explore it often. But one of my side fortes. All right, so if I mean, when you're creating a page, how many hours does it like usually take you, per page, or if you could break it down?
ですね。It it'll be very depends on the page. It will be changed. It depends on the page. そうですね。Maybe in sketching,
Yeah.
each page I need 1 or 2 hours each sketch. Then inking will be more 4 or 5 hours. And of course, I have to do background and I have the additional screen tone, painting black. Maybe totally from 8 to 10 hours or more. Yeah, on
8
each
to
page.
10 hours or more.
Yeah.
Gosh.
8,
And
around 10 hours.
And this is all like after planning it. Like,
yes. It's very hard.
Okay, so when you're planning out the page, I mean, how long does that usually take you? When you're trying to plan out the page, brainstorming.
How to lay out story. It means story.
Mm-hmm.
It means story. Story is we make story like a storyboard, rough sketch. So if I had a series on monthly magazine, maybe I draw around 30 pages every month.
Yeah.
Maybe I need 5 days or 6 days. Yeah. Each episode. So then, yeah, around a week. Yeah, it's around 30 pages. So yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so I guess what I would also want to know too is how important are the fundamentals when creating a comic?
So fundamental means basic knowledge, basic technique, right? Is that okay? No?
Yeah, so
fundamental.
Yeah, so fundamental, what I mean by that, let me see if Mike Masako might be able to translate what I mean by fundamental. Masako, what would be the word for fundamental in Japanese?
I mean, yeah, you can just rephrase the question.
Or
maybe
and you can clarify a little bit more better, Nico, for me.
Yeah, Masako, if you can re-ask the question or translate the question, how important are fundamentals when creating a comic?
Masako?
Technical issues.
Okay.
Technical difficulties.
All
right. Well, I'll rephrase the question then. Basically, how important are the basics, like the basic structure and whatnot, when creating a comic?
Basic structure. I think if you just enjoy drawing manga, I think you don't need any fundamentals. just draw, and just enjoy your drawing manga. But
what about the story side of it?
Yeah. But if you should you should upload your work on the internet and improve your skill and techniques. But if you want to become a professional manga artist, or if you want to becoming an assistant, or if you want to enter manga contest, I think you need to study basic techniques or fundamentals. Is very important for becoming a professional. Is very important. Yeah.
Oh, okay. What and just for somebody like, let's say they kind of got some momentum going. They're still kind of an amateur. They're trying to transition from fan art to actually getting into this profession. What do you think they should start? What as far as the fundamentals? You know, where should they start? What should they focus on the most?
For very beginner.
Yes.
Maybe I suggested maybe you just copy your favorite manga. Like if your favorite manga is Dragon Ball, you just copy your Dragon Ball with a pencil and paper is okay. And everything you copy, everything like character paneling, bubbles, everything copy. Maybe you copied over 30 pages, 40 pages. You can learn. Oh, this is this way. So I recommend copy your favorite manga. After that, you start your original manga. You just pencil, paper is fine. Then please try to keep drawing your original way. You can change your style to your style. So yeah just copy or imitate your favorite manga.
So it's funny that you mentioned copy, because I think when I think of a copy, you know, recently within the art community, people, you know, there are growing opinions and concerns on AI art, if you've heard of AI art. What is your opinion, and what effect do you think that will have on the manga industry long term?
On AI art. Yeah, AI art is now hot topic now. I think AI art could be used as a material, like a material. So it's like a photo material. For example, I would like to use a chair with a lot of very gorgeous decoration to my fantasy manga. Then maybe in such a case, I think it would be useful. I could create a gorgeous decoration chair with AI immediately, convert it to 3D modeling. Maybe it can turn the 3D modeling. I think it's very, very useful among artists. Yeah, I want to use it for my manga like a material. But I think more interesting have making story or characters' personalities are more interesting drawn by real human or real manga artists. Is so so like a maybe it's like a just material AI. That's my opinion.
Well, so as far as and kind of going back to the AI art, what's the concern? Do you think there's a concern that folks might rely too much on it? Like if they start using it for all their work instead of using it as just
I think my audio was having some issues. I apologize.
Oh yeah, we said it before this. Like, you know, audio issues are the worst, folks. If you don't know, audio issues are the worst. Anyway, yeah. So, you know, do you think there's a concern that folks might rely too much on AI art, and they don't use it as just a tool? They use it for everything, kind of like what we see with CGI. You know, some animators just do everything entirely CGI nowadays.
そうですね。そうね。Yeah. Can you Masako-san, can you help me there now?
The CGI thing?
Yeah, so I was
Can you explain? Yeah.
Yep, I was asking if there's a concern that the AI art, that the folks will use AI art too much. Like they'll use it as much as CGI art is used today, or somebody will do their entire work in CGI.
AI でコンピューターでそのまま作るのがあるのを使いすぎることに関して、 どう思われますか？それに問題があるかどうか。
So everything AI is the kind of problem because artists we don't need artists anymore. But yeah, but sometimes we manga artists move on digitally now. Everything digitally. So we use like a photo とか we can scanning photo directly to my manga background.
Yeah.
So maybe in the future, sometimes AI make everything with graphic character, maybe everything. But still, we need creativity from by the real human. So the story, maybe AI cannot make story or cannot make a character's personality, or a funny character, cool character, scary characters, just art. So だから、I think, yeah, そんなに人間はやっぱり必要だと思うから、AI はそんなに怖い存在ではないかなと思います。
Okay.
There you go.
Okay. So when I look at like the days of Osamu Tezuka, for those out there who don't know who Osamu Tezuka is, as we always say that, he's considered to be the modern father of manga. Some consider to be the, like the godfather of anime. But looking back at the days of Osamu Tezuka today, manga has evolved a great deal. What is your opinion of current day manga?
I think there are many more manga that have been more simplified, and can be easily understand. Especially in Japan now, there's a lot of comedy manga and love romance, and it's very simple and easy to understand manga, and things can be enjoyed right now. Yeah. And there are now many comedy manga with cute girl who almost fall in love with the main characters. Yeah. On the other hand, they are very getting very little manga now, very long story and complicated story, and like a sci-fi manga is now getting very few. So
Right.
the simple because maybe it's influenced by Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. Because of TikTok, younger reader likes such simple, easy to understand and short stuff. How about in the US?
Well, I think Nico, you should probably start with that first. You know how I'm pretty wrong with it.
Well, yeah, as far as manga here in the US, it's it's kind of similar. I'll say kind of. We do see some play from like the mech side of things. Like Gundam got some good play over here. It did get a lot of good play during the Gundam Seed period, and a lot of stuff with Char and the UC Century. Well, I say some of the newer stuff with it, especially Gundam Unicorn. Yeah, they saw some play, but outside of that, yeah, sci-fi still does kind of have a hard time when we're talking about in the context of manga. It's usually more so with the US or the Western comics that we probably see that get a little more limelight. I'll say even Saga gets a little better play as far as deviating from the popular love story drama and whatnot, where it's a little more, you got a little more sci-fi seriousness and what have you. So yeah, I would say we got a similar issue. Maybe some little tweaks and differences, but when it comes to manga, yeah, it's just oversaturated with isekai and yeah, it's
don't get me started on isekai. There's so much of it.
Yeah, so much, too much. So yeah. Oh, I see. Thank you.
Yeah, like you have obviously there's more than just Sword Art Online, but I almost wonder if Sword Art Online kicked that whole thing off,
So that's right. Yeah.
So our next question would be, when you're working on your process, when you're, drawing or when you're writing, which do you prefer? Do you prefer to write or do you prefer to draw?
Maybe
What do you like more?
Maybe I'm kind of drawing person. That when I drawing, I feel relaxed and maybe I at ease. And when I'm thinking story. When I'm writing story, I feel stressed. I feel that I'm dealing with very, very difficult problem. Oh, I have to solution many, many problems on this manga. So yeah, maybe I'm kind of drawing person. Yeah. How about you? Are you
well, for me, I'm not as I don't draw, but I'm a writer. But I know for some of the guys in the group, I guess in our group it probably depends. Some of them prefer to write. Funny enough, the guy who is doing this story, Killbox, he prefers to write even though he can draw very well. That's just a shout out to you, director.
Director, let's go.
Nico, I don't know. What do you prefer? Because Nico does both.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah, I honestly, if I had to pick, I probably prefer writing. To be honest,
Really?
Yeah, the structures are like you said, it's like problem solving, and you've got a sound formula to work with. Versus I draw, and it's sometimes it's almost like if I don't keep myself in check, I could easily just deviate off. It's sometimes like extra stressful keeping things grounded when I'm drawing. So some of should just reversed.
Oh, that's cool. You can do both.
So we are at the halfway point of this particular episode. So we're going to go ahead and just make a quick few announcements. And I do want to say to everybody, because this is a little bit different of an episode, I do appreciate everyone's patience with us going through this process. So let's go ahead and make the announcement for those of you who are big podcast fans. If you are if you are interested in having something to listen to while you drive, you want to make sure you check out the Honeycomb Hideout, and you should see that on the screen any moment now. The Honeycomb Hideout. It is your podcast. Anything, if you think of like, I can't even think of the name of the radio broadcaster. I always forget about it. But if you love anything heavy hitting that is nerd culture, you want to check out the Honeycomb Hideouts on Spotify. It is also on Apple as well. So make sure you check that out when you have the chance. And also, make sure you follow our one of our other projects out there from Imaginos Workshop, Judafist. And you see here is a Judafist poster right here on the screen that you can see. Very nice poster. There will be a volume of that coming out pretty soon. With that being said, let's get back into this interview with the great Ryo Katagiri. Nico, you're up.
All right. Do you think there's a stigma to OEL, the original English language manga in Japan?
OEL manga.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. To tell the truth, I didn't know that OEL manga at all. So I searched it at the internet. Then I saw OEL manga first time. So I knew there were original manga published in France or German, but I didn't know there were original manga like a Japanese style original manga in US. So because we don't see any OEL manga in Japan. How can I see them? How can I read them? Because Japanese people cannot read English. So yeah, we don't see any OEM manga in Japan. So I think Japanese people, we don't know. Then we only see manga translated into Japanese in bookstore on the internet. So maybe, I think maybe publishers and bookstores control that. So if the manga translated in Japanese, we love to read them.
Okay, so just not much exposure. Okay, well, how do you? I guess we could say this for both regions of new writers. How should new writers challenge themselves? Let's start with them.
You write
New writers, yeah.
Mean beginner.
Yep,
Yes.
beginner. How should they challenge themselves?
How should they challenge? I think, as I said before, you just copy your favorite manga.
Right.
Maybe then you move to draw your original manga story. Maybe very short story is fine. 10 pages, 15 pages is fine. Then maybe you can try draw, inking and screen tone, painting black, and a little more professional way. Then so my advice is just draw a lot of manga. Just draw a lot of manga. Yeah? And I think there's two ways becoming a manga artist in Japan. The first way is submit your original manga to manga contest. Yeah? In Japan, every magazine have a contest every month, every year. So please check your favorite magazine website. There's a rule about manga contest. So you draw your original one-shot manga, then submit your contest. Then if the editor like your manga, editor will contact you. Editor will send email or phone call. Then maybe you can start your manga like with editor, you can start a business meeting with them. And the second way is just upload your manga on internet, like a Twitter, Facebook. Facebook is not so popular in Japan, but Instagram, Pixiv. You know Pixiv? Pixiv is a very big art social network. Pixiv. So upload your art every day or every week. If you got a lot of attention, if you got a lot of followers, like over 5,000, over 10,000, maybe every Japanese editor looking for good artists. So they every day checking Twitter, Instagram. So maybe if you got a lot of attention, the editor will contact you directly on your account. So I really recommend the second way. Yeah? Just draw and upload your artwork.
Drawing is always the better option.
Yeah, that's right.
So, I mean, if we go back to this manga and comics thing here, many people outside of Japan hold manga with some like mysticism. So, like, do you think or manga and comics are the same medium?
I'm not sure the meaning of mysticism.
So mysticism, because I think Masako just dropped out for a moment.
Okay.
Mysticism is
mystery. Mysterious thing.
Yeah.
Mysterious thing. Oh, really? I'm not sure.
Or like magical.
Magical.
Magical mystery. Yeah.
Magical mystery. Maybe it's similar. We feel American comics is very cool. We very admire American comics, like a superhero manga, superhero comics. Many Japanese manga artists really like American comics. It's such a super cool drawing technique of super cool, like action pose, like the dialogues, maybe similar for us to American comics. But I'm not sure the American comic and the manga are same medium, but almost similar. All Japanese read manga when we little children. So almost every Japanese kids watch anime from 4 years or 5 years old. So only Japanese adults read American comics. Yeah, maybe. Is it similar in US?
I wouldn't.
No, I think over here, like our comics culture is a bit different. So in the U.S., the way that probably until maybe more recently to a degree, people would always say, "Oh, comics are just for kids," even though you have people who are hardcore comic fans like myself, like Nico, and a lot of the viewers out there, also are into that. And a lot of that comes from the history of the comics code in like the 1960s, 70s. So in terms of how people viewed comics, maybe up until maybe more recent years, there's always been that stigma to it. So it's a bit different than from my understanding of from what I've studied with Japanese culture. I'm obviously I've never lived in Japan, so I can't speak from that standpoint. But at least from here, that's like in the U.S. Our comics culture is not as robust, I feel like, as I've seen or heard, about with Japanese culture.
That's interesting. Thank you.
So I guess to follow up with that, one thing that we do have a lot of in the U.S. when it comes to the comics culture is we have conventions. That's a very big part of, the whole thing, especially with a lot of these movies out. You have like the Marvel movies, Iron Man and, Superman when it comes to DC and everything, which that's its own thing. But in Japan, how many conventions do you go to a year, or is that not a part of your
yeah. そうですね。I joined as a guest Kaigai Manga Festival in Japan. It was 2018. Yeah, I was a artist array. I was joined artist array, and I went several times, maybe 2 or 3 times comic event in Japan. Maybe it's called Comique.
Yes, Comique.
Yeah.
Yes,
Comique.
Very familiar.
And I like original manga. Original, not the fan manga. I want to see the original artist, original manga story. So not a fan magazine.
Yes.
So I went to the
Doujinshi, I think.
So Doujinshi. Doujinshi is kind of fan manga, fan magazine, fanzine. Yeah, but there's a lot of original manga they sell also. Original character, original manga they sell. Then I want to see the original manga. Then I bought some goods, like stickers, notebooks. They sell many goods items, so I bought. Then I went a few times, and I also been to anime convention in the U.S. 2019 as a guest. It's called Anime Oasis. Anime Oasis だったと思う。
I think I might have seen that upon my research, but
This one,
Anime Oasis, yeah.
Yeah, it was これだ。Anime Dynamite.
No, I recognize that character. Yeah.
So I was joined this anime convention as a guest with Manga University. So we sell how to do manga book at the event. そうですね。2019. So it was my first time to go it's the first time to join the US anime convention. It was so excited. Very
Well, shoot, I'm like that's amazing. You know, to be honest, you know, to come over to the US and be able to, you know, I'm like, and so do you, when it comes to conventions, do you prefer a convention in the US or do you prefer conventions in Japan in your home?
I love both. But in US it's more interesting for me because many cosplayers cosplayed manga characters. You know, it was I saw first time. It's so cool. So, thank you so much for loving Japanese manga. Thank you so much. I really appreciate them. So, wow, so many なんだっけ漫画キャラクター like なんかナルトとかなんかthere are so many ナルトとかあと東京グーキャラクターとか My Hero Academia character. I saw many cosplayers. It was so excited, very
big.
Excited. Yeah. So, wow, you look so great. Wow, you look amazing. I really enjoyed them. I really enjoyed the event. Yeah, but I like both. Yeah.
What is the what's the biggest win you've had? You know, in your entire career as a manga writer and artist. What's the biggest success you've had?
Biggest success? Oh, that's hard. No. Yeah, I really excited, invited as a guest anime convention in US, and I was invited to have a manga workshop in Netherlands in this year. I went to Netherlands this year in September, so I had a manga workshop. It was great experience. It was a great honor. So I never forget it, and I can publish my book in the U.S. and in English. It was great, maybe biggest success for me. Yeah.
Biggest success. So you that's great. How much did you publish?
How much? How to draw manga book?
No, yeah. How many copies published that year?
How many copies? Actually, I'm not sure. But I'm not sure about yeah. Sorry, I don't know.
Okay, fair enough. Too many to count. I get it. Maybe. All right. So that was your biggest success. What was your greatest loss?
Great loss.
What was the biggest loss you suffered in your career?
So ですね。I was shocked when my manga was cancelled, immediately because my second manga Tutti actually the manga was not so popular. So I found out my manga was not so popular, so my manga was cancelled immediately. In Japanese, it's called uchikiri. Cancelled. So I worked hard a lot, and I gave my all time for my series, but unfortunately, my manga was not so popular. So it was I really shocked. I lose a lot of confidence at the time. Yeah, but it's good experience. It's a great experience for me also. Yeah.
No, I mean, we hear. It's funny, like, well, not funny. It's not funny. Make sure I say that, but like, it's interesting to hear about, experiences like this because from our standpoint, it's almost sounds like a, like we only hear about it. It's famous to hear like, wow, like a lot of these large magazine publishers in Japan just seem very hard to be able to survive in. People think of, for example, Weekly Shonen Jump.
Yeah, that's right. So super hard.
Very hard.
Very hard. Yeah.
And then a lot of times when people think of manga over here in the States, we may think of manga creators having assistants and did you have any assistants to help you, you know, when you were working in your?
Yeah, so when I had a weekly series, I hired 3 or 4 assistants to my manga work. They draw background, they draw なんだっけ characters, なんだっけ mob characters and sound effects, they helped me manga a lot. Yeah, I hired. And then I have to pay the money for that. So I paid a lot of money for assistant, but my manga was cancelled, so I'm really shocked.
Well, you know, I still want to read your manga, to be honest with you. I've never read it myself, but I do want to read it. You know, so if there's a way for me to get a copy of it, you know, or you know, buy a copy somewhere, point us in that direction because we definitely would like to read it. It looks interesting.
Thank you very much.
So, how did you bounce back from that loss?
How did you? Sorry.
How did you bounce back creatively?
How did you bounce back?
Or recover?
Yeah, how did you recover?
Actually, when I finished my second manga, I couldn't read any manga because I was hurt.
Yeah.
So I couldn't read. I don't want to read any manga. I don't want to see any manga. but that time I just relaxing and I just go out and at the time I really enjoy watching TV series, American TV series, like Netflix. I really enjoy watching Netflix. I really love the 例えばなんだっけな Friends とか very old ones very old one Friends とか I like comedy Big Bang Theory とか Big Bang Theory とかなんだっけsome very I like a comedy
mainly the comedies. Okay.
Yeah, so I really like watching the anime comedy. It's called Osomatsu-san.
Osomatsu-san. I've heard of that.
Anime, very gag comedy anime. I really love the character. Oh, I like this character, so I start to draw fan art of the character. I start to draw again the character. Oh, I like this character, so I get into anime and manga again. Then I start to. When I'm watching American TV series, I'm really a big fan of American TV series actually. When I'm watching TV series, at the same time I'm thinking my next stories. I want to do this. Maybe I'm thinking next story. So I came up new idea on my head. So maybe I start to drawing roughly. Sketching, storyboard, and then so I start to draw little by little again. Yeah, like that. Yeah, that's right.
You know, I'm like when it comes to I've never, you know, obviously used Netflix in Japan, but I know like you know the I believe it. You know, some of the things that are available on Netflix can be region specific. So I'm kind of curious, like, what actually is available over in Japan? It's like, is there so much more, you know, like you know, that we would have access to? For example, like, of course, we have more American shows because you know we're in America, but then I'm sure you guys have a lot more probably Japanese shows, not just anime, that we wouldn't necessarily be able to have access to. So it's interesting when you're talking. You mentioned Friends and everything, you know, because I think that's like the probably one of the big like well-known you know classic you know sitcoms that everybody knows about, you know, although I've never really watched much of. I'm gonna admit that, but I don't know, Nico, you've watched Little Friends, right?
Oh, I watched a lot of Friends. It's I'm not surprised if you were into it. It was a great series. It was great.
Actually, many Japanese manga artists, we really love American TV series. We really, from Netflix to ka, like Stranger Things, we really love.
Oh, don't get me started on Stranger Things.
so we so many. My one of my artist friends really love 24 とか she watched again the game 24 とか
So I'm actually curious when you mentioned Stranger Things. This is just something I'm just wondering if you know maybe people talk about this in Japan. I don't know, but the character 11, you know, the psychic 11, she reminds me of like somebody out of like Akira. You know, the famous Akira story. Like she reminds me of, you know, like I feel like there's some Akira influence there. Like, do you see any in there?
そっか
And I think the writers have gone on record, you know, just so people who know I'm talking about, like Akira.
Oh, Akira ね Yeah, Akira Is that bit yeah similar maybe it's inspired by Akira maybe no I don't know but yeah I can understand I understand that similar that's interesting そうね Akira actually I've never read the whole story Akira but I know the movie
yeah, the manga definitely. I'm not even done with the manga, but the manga there's so much more. This is just the first number one, you know, there's so much more than
okay.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I read it. Okay. I have to check it out. Okay.
So we're in the final part of this interview, everyone. So just to wrap this up, we have a few final questions we're going to ask Rio, and then of course, you know, to close, we'll let you guys know what's coming next. So, Nico, ball's in your court, good sir.
All right. So first and foremost, you know, let's ask everybody, you know, how they see the competitive market here in this industry. So, are there anyone you would consider to be a rival of sorts? Is there a professional? Is there a creative professional out there that you have a healthy that you would say you have let's say a healthy rivalry with?
Who is your Goku to your Vegeta? Who is your Naruto to your Sasuke?
I'm sorry. Actually, I don't have any rivals.
Okay.
Actually, I have a lot of good artist friends. I have good mentors, but I don't want to compare with my work to others. Because if I compare my work to others, I get depressing. So
oh no!
I don't want to. Oh, this artist is so great.
Yeah,
I'm not so great. I don't want to see. I don't want to feel that. So I don't need any rivals. But I have a lot of good artist friends and mentors. Yeah, that's all. So
Fair enough. Well, then that transitions us to the last one, the traditional question of the series.
Hold on, we got to have a drum roll to this. We got to have an epic. This is the season finale. You know, we got to hype this up. The epic question that everyone knows. We have to know the greatness that Rio is about to let us know. You know, about her life. Yeah, I got to add this hype to it. This is the season finale. I want to hear what Rio has to say. Go ahead and kick that question out, Nico. Go.
You done? All right. So, what is considering your career takes off and everything? What is this all for? You know, what is your end game? What is the ultimate? What is your ultimatum?
End game.
So, end game meaning what?
My goal.
Yes, your goal. You know, for your whole career, your whole life, your life's work.
That's a big question. Okay, so I want to draw art, manga, even when I become a grandmother myself, even when I got 90 years old, when I 100 years old. If I want to draw, I want to keep draw manga and illustrator, and if possible, I'd like to publish a book every year. Yeah. I would like to draw original stories and maybe picture book for children would be great. Would be great idea. So any kind of book is okay. I want to publish book every year, and I just keep drawing. So there's no end. There's no end. also, I really like to communicate with foreign people. So I want to brush up my English more. So I want to help foreigners who loves manga. Then I want them to be happy. I want them to enjoy my manga work. So I want to be a bridge between Japan and other countries who loves manga. Yeah, that's my goal.
I like that. You know.
Thank you.
Well said.
Okay, you know, so I want to say this, Rio. I really appreciate you coming on today. We both all of us appreciate you coming on because you're giving us a window into, you know, aspect of society that, you know, a lot of us over here, you know, in the Western parts of the world don't always get to see, you know, in the English speaking part of the world. So, you know, thank you so much for coming on today, talking about your experiences, you know, in the industry. And also before we go, where can anyone find you if they want to follow you, if they want to buy, for example, you know, how to draw a manga? And I'm going to throw that on the screen right here, which I do think you guys definitely need to make sure that you pick up. Where can they find you? Where can they find how to draw manga?
Where can I have?
Or your manga?
Please search it. How to draw manga book on Amazon, or please search it my name, Ryo Katagiri. So I'm one of the author, Ryo Katagiri. So maybe you can search it my name, Ryo Katagiri. But my manga was written in Japanese, so maybe you should search it in Japanese, Ryo Katagiri, kanji style. But yeah, it's a bit hard to find. Yeah. But yeah, and I have also Instagram, so Twitter, Facebook. So please search it my name. So please follow me. Yeah, if you are interested.
Yeah. Okay, so what we're gonna do, guys, you know, this video, you know, we're gonna put all of the links down below so that you guys can make sure that you follow Rio on all those platforms. Well, make sure you follow her. Make sure you pick up how to draw manga. This is a must book that you need to get.
Thank you very much.
You know, make sure you follow her on all her social media platforms. Again, we want to thank Rio for coming on today. You know, and also one last thing we're going to say, obviously, with this being the season finale, you know, in the next few months, we're going to come out with our new season. So make sure you guys stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, like this video, and also look out for Killbox. That's going to be coming pretty soon. The hip hop project that will change everything when it comes to OEL manga. With that being said, one last time, thank you so much, Rio. And I hope that everyone has a wonderful holiday, and we will see you on the Shining Spotlight show in a couple months, everyone. Anything to say, Nico? You good?
Happy holidays, shining lights. Catch you all later.
See you guys.